Here's how it works. Foreign company produces goods to be sold in the U.S. They're shipped to the U.S. and they face the tariffs. U.S. companies pay the tariff. I put a caveat on that, to the U.S. Treasury. That's where the money goes, to the Treasury. And then companies pay the cost of the tariff, or they pass it on to consumers. And that really matters, because is it possible that a supplier could pay the entire tax when they send it? Possible. History says it's very unlikely. 50-50 split, the supplier and the business doing it? Also possible. This is the one that everybody says is what most often happens. There is some absorption along the way, and this is shown as an even split, but there's no indication that it will be an even split. And American consumers absolutely, Pam, are going to be hammered by this on many things, as Jeff noted, that you use and you touch every single day.
So a little more specific on that, what gets more expensive? What should we be bracing for as American consumers?
Well, as a practical matter, almost everything. Bananas up 10%, wine up 20%, coffee up 10%. Interesting point here. If you drink 1 cup of coffee a day, average price last year is about $3. That's going to be $100 more for your coffee every year. That's all there is to that. And then there are many other goods that will also be affected out there. Electronics, absolutely. You want a new phone, you want a new TV, you want a new anything in your house that's electronic. Almost all of it is tied to foreign manufacturing. Textiles, the jeans that were mentioned a minute ago, shirts, things like that, footwear, sporting equipment, all sorts of things, medical equipment. It's impossible to keep up with all the things that are part of world trade. So all of that is potentially impacted by this and is being impacted by it right now.
So how could the escalating trade war impact American consumers in terms of the goods that we get from China?
Yeah, that's why, Pam, when they say, oh, well, China has a weak hand here, they only have a pair of twos. We're buying this stuff. American consumers are buying this stuff. That's part of this hand, too. Look, Temu over here, tons of consumer goods out there that people like to buy. They're doing very, very well. Shein does a lot of like cosmetics and lifestyle products out there. Also big. AliExpress. This does marketing, direct marketing, tends to have a little longer delivery time, and they're trying to find buyers around the world to deal directly with Chinese companies. These are great big Chinese companies that Americans are dealing with in a very big way. So that's out there. And when you put it all together, and this is the part that people have to bear in mind. This is a tax. And one of the estimates right now is that the average home out there who's dealing with this annually from the budget lab at Yale University is going to pay close to $4,000 annually for this tariff plan.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring, the house of David, the elect, that's pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakah Quadash. Jumping right into this article here. This is from CNN Business. The headline it reads, it says, "This is the stock market's worst start to a presidential term in modern history. Again, this has to be the year, Lord willing, that it all crashes. This is what we're all waiting for, okay?" And I saw a title to one of the brothers' videos that said people are about to be tested who belong to this world. And this is true, because these people are not prepared to lose everything that they have, all right? There's a lot of incredulity, disbelief amongst Israel, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and Hispanics. And really what it is just the Lord blinded Jake from prophecy. All right. Most of our people are ignorant of the geopolitical affairs that are going on across the planet Earth. All right. The global tension. Okay. The talks of world war, because the average mindset of Jake in America is that eventually, through all the ruckus and chaos that's going on, the Lord is going to recover this place. All right. This is how you Jakes think. It's Isaiah 30:1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And look what happened with you Jakes, all right? Going all the way back to the voting process. All right, niggas was proud, talking about, niggas for Trump, Latinos for Trump, and all of that. And look what's going on. Since this man has been in office, all right, niggas have been getting booted out of America, detained, all right, iced. You see what I'm saying? Jobs are getting cut. All right, people are going without. You see, so Jake is looking real stupid right now, But that's what you get for trusting in the system. All right, it says, verse 2, it says, that walked to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Yeah, again, the mindset of Jake. All right. They strengthen themselves in Babylon. They trust in this system. They trust in this economy. All right. They believe that eventually is going to get better. All right. They believe the narrative that they're creating more jobs. All right. The economy is doing just fine. They love to be lied to, as it tells you in the same chapter. All right. They want to hear those smooth things. Right. So woe unto you niggas that trust in Egypt. It says, verse 2, that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Verse 3, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. And look what's going on right now. All right, the tariffs, the taxes, everything's going up. All right, the price of living. All right, food. Groceries, your necessities, your goods, everything is about to be super expensive. All right. And these devils are making it harder for you people to live. Because who is this going to affect the most? You Jakes, you Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and Hispanics. All right. Trump is all about the elites, the rich. Okay. They're getting ready to do away with the so-called middle class. All right. Everything is moving in motion like it's supposed to. All right. Again, the title says, this is the stock market's worst start to a presidential term in modern history. All right. A lot of things are happening. Reading on here, it says, and this lesson that I'm bringing out, is just pretty much, I had a few articles, again, highlighting the end of Babylon as we know it. All right. But reading on, it says, New York CNN, President Donald Trump warned Americans in 2024 that a vote for Vice President Kamala Harris would be a vote for a market meltdown. Quote, you want to see a market crash? If we lost this election, I think the market will go down the tubes, Trump said at a Pennsylvania rally in late October. Weeks earlier, Trump confidently predicted that if he lost, quote, the result would be a Kamala economic crash. A 1929 style depression, see? It says Trump won the election, but he may have been right about a crash occurring after the election. It says Trump and his terrorists have taken a bull stock market and are on the precipice of turning it into a bear faster than any president has overseen in modern history, see? All right? And these things are not happening for no reason, Like this is the Lord amplifying this thing. He's accelerating this thing. As these prophecies continue to speak, the outlook on America is very grim. Eventually, they got to crash this thing. As you see, they're doing it on purpose. All right. They have to hurry up and usher in this market of beast system. All right. As we talked about yesterday, this is the transition to centralized banking. All right. For a digital economy. Right. Trump and his terrorists have taken a bull stock market and are on the precipice of turning it into a bear faster than any president has overseen in modern history. If the stock market closes in bear territory, a drop of 20% from a recent peak, it would be the earliest in a new administration a bull market has turned into a bear in the history of the S&P 500, which dates back to 1957. It says the same terrorists also take a booming economy and turn it into a recession. Boom. All right. Zephaniah 1:10, it says, And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, that there should be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, right? Which the fish gate represents, your place of business, right? It says, in a howling from the second and great crashing from the hills. So the point again is that an economic collapse is coming. All right, they're hastening this thing. They're hastening this thing, man. All right, they have to press the issue. The chip got to be pushed, man. First and foremost, right? It says, Zephaniah 1:11. It says, "How ye inhabitants of Mektish." All right, Mektish, going back to pretty much the which would be like the stock market, the investors today, right? That place of business, right? How ye inhabitants of Mektish, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off. Yeah, the investors, the people who handle Wall Street, the stock market. All right, we're coming into that time where all of that's getting ready to be cut off. Right? Same verse NLT, Zephaniah 1:11 NLT, it says, "Wail in sorrow, all you who live in the market area, for all the merchants and traders will be destroyed." Exactly. The stock market, the investors, all right, the people who handle the money, all right, these economists, all right, they foresee what's getting ready to happen because of these tariffs and the economy. They see that this economy is getting ready to tank. Isaiah 30:16. All right, the bubble is getting ready to burst. All right, Isaiah 30:13. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 13, it says, I'll start at 12. Isaiah 30:12, it says, Salakia, I got to start up. Because I made mention of this, right? Isaiah 30:9. And it reads, it says that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. And that's what you Jakes want to hear. Jake don't want to hear about the doom and gloom. Jake don't want to hear about the eventual collapse of this economy. Jake wants to hear about how this place is going to recover. All right? God bless America and all of that bullshit. All right? Jake don't want to hear the truth. All right? They want to hear those smooth things. It says, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Right? Because Jake, as I said, there's a lot of incredulity, disbelief amongst Jake right now in these last days. All right? There's tons of niggas all over the internet, all over the world, talking shit against the Bible, talking shit against this truth, against the prophets of the Lord. You see? But we know and understand that 2/3 are going to perish. Okay, 2/3 of our people are fully invested into this world. All right. It says, verse 12, it says, wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because you despise his word and trust in oppression and in perverseness and stay thereon, as we just read earlier in the chapter. All right. Our people trust in oppression. They trust in a system that's totally against them, man. All right. And this new system that they're ushering in, all right, it's going to cash you niggas out. All right. We coming into that time, man. Look, no more freedom of speech, no more so-called sovereignty, rights. Okay. Famine of food. Okay. Martial law, all these decrees that are being set forth. All right. For your destruction. All right. Because you despise his word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. Verse 13, the point, it says, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant, right? The crash is coming. Let's read that in the NLT. All right, same verse, Isaiah 30:13. NLT, it says, calamity will come upon you suddenly, like a bulging wall that bursts and falls. In an instant it will collapse and come crashing down. All right, that's the prophecy. That's what's getting ready to happen to this to America's economy. All right, we see the writing on the wall. This is what we waiting on, man. This is why you true believers in Yahweh Shem Shai must brace for the impact. Okay, this shit is gonna get brutal soon to come. right? But moving on to my next point here, I wanted to bring this out because this was heavy too. All right, saw this earlier. All right, it says here, Pentagon prepares for Trump to go berserk. You see, Trump is getting ready to lose his damn mind, as you see what's going on now with these tariffs, right? And as they said, because of these tariffs from Trump, these other nations are doing business with other countries. All right, they don't, as we said, they don't need America's business anymore. All right, people are boycotting and protesting America-made goods. All these things are going to affect this economy in the worst way possible. All right, but check this out. I thought this was spiritual, right? Listen to what he says at the end.
A large buildup of U.S. bombers now. Tell us what you think the strategy is. Obviously, the Houthis, Yemen terrorizing, and there's the map that really clearly puts out where it is and the strategic point it sits at.
Diego is such a strategic base, and we have moved a third of our strategic bombers from the B-2 side there. We're sending a message. This is a message of deterrence. There's 2 carrier strike groups. But it also gives the president a military option that he can actually use these weapons against Iran if needed. We could go if we have a nuclear weapons program to eliminate, could be done. But what I think lends this self more to a deterrence package is the fact that all the bombers, they're not in hangars. They're underneath satellites where they can be photographed and seen. And the idea is, do you see our sword? Because we could use this sword if we need to.
Do you see our sword? We can use the sword if need to. All right, that's spiritual. Esau is that sword. This is Psalm 17, verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, Yahweh Shemel Washai, disappoint him. Cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked," which is you Edomites, which is thy sword. Okay, he's the sword, the left hand of the Most High. All right. Revelation chapter 6, verse 3, it says, "And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see." The point, Revelation 6 and 4. "And there went out another horse that was red." All right. That red is tied back to Esau, Edom. Okay. "And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth." Right. Because what's happening right now is we see, all right, they already have bombed Yemen. All right. And the next move is to get Iran. Okay. So this is more escalation again of nuclear war, World War III. In Revelation 6 and 4, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another." Right? The wars, all right, the biological warfare, okay, the infiltration of these different countries, nations, all right, the robbery of resources, everything, man. Okay? Everywhere this devil goes, he causes hell and death, destruction. "To take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword," going back to his blessing. As you just heard in the video, they're prepared to use that sword. "Do you see our sword?" he said, man. So that's pretty heavy, man. All right, but that's the time that we're living in. All right, nuclear war, World War III. All right, and I wanted to play this one too. "Danger close. War between U.S. and Iran has never been closer, and Tehran won't back down to Trump," warns ex-UK ambassador. All right, let me get that too. All right, Jeremiah 49. All right, Jeremiah 49 and verse. All right, Elisa the flock. Let me get that real quick. All right, Elisa the flock. Type it in, Salakia. Lisa the flock. Jeremiah 49 in verse 20. And it reads, it says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Washai, that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes that he have proposed against the inhabitants of Teman." All right, them small hats. "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them." Right, again, America is about to be smoked right along with Israel. All right, these nations are preparing for war.
I do take it seriously. The risk of a war between Israel and the United States on the one hand and Iran on the other has never been higher. And that's because it's been Israel's aim for many years to strike Iran, and they've always wanted to attract the United States to their side to do it because of limitations in Israel's capabilities, particularly in sustaining a long war. This is chiefly about weakening Iran as a state.
There you go.
I do take.
Right? Okay, yeah, things, hey, look, things are going on over there, man. Right? Let's add some more. All right, this came across the feed as well. Make America hate it again. All right, it says Trump is reviled from Canada to China. American tourists are paying the price, all right? As we talked about, okay? People, there's uproars around the planet against Babylon, all right? Again, this is how you know we at the end of this thing. I want to jump down and just get straight to the point. So it says, we'll start, bear with me. Let's see. It will start right here. So it says inbound travel to the U.S. from many foreign nations is expected to take a hit this year. Flight bookings from Canada to the States have plunged this year, and Canadian airlines such as Air Canada and WestJet have reduced flights to U.S. destinations. Bookings from Europe to the U.S. have fallen too. Foreign travelers are turned off by America's inward turn and adversarial stance. They've also seen stories about tougher border security and travelers being detained upon entry into the U.S. Yeah, we talked about this before. America is being locked down. The people are being locked from within. Okay? People are seeing that. Some countries such as the UK and Germany have put in place warnings for their citizens regarding travel to the U.S. Man, matter of fact, let me get that scripture in Jeremiah. Right? How people would flee, all right, to their own country. Was it Jeremiah 51? Let me find that. All right, this is Jeremiah 51 in verse 9. It says, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country." Right? Yeah, this was happening. People are leaving this land. All right, tourism is dropping. People don't want to have anything to do with this place, right? It says, "For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies," right? That's the time we in, man. Heavy judgment is on the way, right? Isaiah 13, I think there's another one I want to add in there real quick too, before we go back to the read. Was it Isaiah 13? Bear with me one second. Isaiah 13... Salakia. Isaiah 13:13, "Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place," and that's going to happen due to the destruction. It says in the wrath of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, in the day of his fierce anger. It says, "And it shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land." You see, and that's happening now because people see the eventual collapse of this place. People see how, how this place is becoming more locked down. Like we read in the article, the adversarial stance. Okay? So that's what's driving people away. It says American tourists may also be scaling back some of their international travel plans. And an analysis from Cirium, an aviation analytics company, of third-party air travel bookings from major U.S. hubs to major European cities, found that 12.6% fewer reservations have been made so far this year for June, July, and August compared with the same period last year. See? It says, blah, blah, blah. It says, "I'm not bringing the usual pride that I have as an American," all right? People are ashamed, And we're going to get more into that as well. It says, yeah, and that's the point. All right, people are scaling back traveling to America. Okay, it's all the spirit. That the scriptures say that that Edom would be greatly despised. All right, Obadiah 1:1, it says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shem El Shai, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, Yahweh Shem El Shai, and an ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. And that's what the world is doing to Babylon and Israel. All right? Nuclear war is being prepared. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised, right? And you could tie that to Babylon too. All right? Not only are those small hats greatly despised, but the this Western hegemony is despised as well. Babylon, America. All right? That's why I said, make America hate it again. This is all the spirit of the Lord. All right. These countries are turning their backs on this place. All right. America's being isolated from the other nations. All right. A recipe for total disaster. Right. It says, the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. All right. You Edomites, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Again, that's that pride. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem El Shai. So this place is being brought down on all levels. All right? Heavy times, man. Again, this has to be the year. This is what we waiting on, man. All right? This thing could easily turn up, the end of the spring going into the summer, or even this winter. But basically, the year 2025 is what? The hopeful year of the destruction of Esau and our salvation, us receiving our salvation, Lord willing, right? Anything can happen at any given day. You see that? And here's some more points, all right? Just going into the fact of, I'm not going to read this one, but just proving the fact that everything about this place, the aura, everything is gone, all right? The Lord is killing the spirit of this place, all right? It says, why are these clubs closing? The rent is high and alcohol isn't flowing, right? So this place is cooked all around, man. Well done. All right? It don't hit no more. The clubs, the entertainment life, the nightlife, all right? Everything is dead, man. The music, all right? The movies, everything is trash, man. The mirth of the land is gone. Isaiah, the 24th chapter, right? Let's add some more to the madness that's going on, all right? This one, I saw this one earlier too. This is from 100% fedup.com. It says, international child pornography ring busted in Florida. Many of these individuals were babies. You see, what the fuck is going on, man? Right? And we said this before, all you demons out there, you scoffers and mockers, you damn Christians and the rest of you damn demons, how come you're not speaking up about this stuff, man? All of this PDF file that's going on. All right, this child trafficking bullshit. You see what I'm saying? All of this wickedness is going on, and you people are quiet about it. You're not saying shit, man. Right? But you got something to say about the Bible. You got something to say about the Hebrew Israelites, right? But just like the elder brothers were saying, hey, the angels are watching and they're writing down everything that's going on. All right, the hypocrisy of you damn Christians and you damn scoffers and mockers out there, man. Right? You got all types of nasty shit going on. PDF rings, right? Sex trafficking and shit, man. Many of these individuals were babies, all right? This is why this place is going to get fucking destroyed, man. Right? Let's play this video here. It says, because, hey, even though they're saying there's 8 individuals tied to this pornography ring, but you better believe who's behind it, right?
Busting an international child pornography ring. We will be bringing charges against 8 individuals this morning, 7 of whom are Florida residents. As a dad of 3 little ones, it's tough to talk about some of this stuff, but what these guys were doing was truly heinous. There's not a word in the English dictionary that can describe the gross content that was on the videos. Our investigators have been able to get their hands on over 1 million videos showing sexual abuse on minors. Many of these individuals were babies that are being sold around the world. The 2023
A million videos. A million videos of these devils abusing babies, bro. This got to be the end. This got to be it. Right? Real quick. Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, in verse 16. I started verse 15. Habakkuk 2 and 15, it says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink." Right? And them drinks are tied back to, those wicked philosophies, these ideologies that are pushed, throughout from Babylon around the world. That putteth thy bottle to him and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Right? Because pretty much, the Western way, the Western hegemony pushes, immoral philosophies, things that are contrary to the Most High, which is basically, rebellion against the Lord, and these nations have adopted those practices and they have lost their way. All right. They're in nakedness. They're in sin. Right. The point, verse 16, it says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's Yahweh Shemashah's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory." All right. And this is even more shameful spewing. Like I said in my other lesson, I said 2025 has been a real nasty year, man. All right. Shameful spewing on my glory. Over 1 million videos of these damn devils sexually abusing babies, bro. Okay. And like I said, they're trying to tie it to 8 people, but it's bigger than that. All right. Who's behind it all? These fucking Edomites, man. All right. This is why the Lord is getting ready to do away with this place. Right.
National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reports over 36 million instances of suspected child sexual exploitation and over 100 million files related to child sex abuse material. And that's only what's getting reported. This continues to be a problem in our country, in our state. Protecting our kids is not an easy task to begin with. And today, with the access to the internet and social media, it allows these sick predators to more easily get access to our kids. And as I've said, my first 5-6 weeks on the job here, that's going to be a major priority for my office. The individuals that are being busted today that purchase this harmful content, many of them found it through TikTok. It was available online. They found access to a portal where they could purchase this dangerous material. TikTok has shown they can very quickly get stuff off their website. If there's unlicensed music or something going around, they've proven with a flip of a switch they can get it off. And it's taken too long for them to get some of this pornographic material and avenues to purchase harder, more gross content. We've got to get them to be more accountable. So we will be working on that. We are going to hold social media companies accountable that want to put our families and our kids in jeopardy. So today, these 8 defendants are being charged with multiple felony counts, including RICO, money laundering, and purchase of child pornography. Again,
Yeah, these are the fall guys. All right. This is a global ring that they were operating, man. All right. So it's more complex than what's being said here.
Can't tell you in words how gross this content is, but it shows the dangers, the evil that's out there. It is truly evil. And you've got my word that in this state, we are going to do everything we can to hold these people accountable. If you are a child predator, if you are one of these sick people, then I hope you never see the sun again. And I hope you certainly never have access to kids again. So we will continue that fight. And I want to give a very special thanks to Rita Peters from Statewide Prosecution for leading this fight. She's going to slap these guys around in the courtroom. And unfortunately, I'm figurative in that comment. But thankful to her, as well as Investigator Abby George, who busted the case. So thank you. I'll turn it over to Commissioner.
Yeah, this shit is crazy. And like the scriptures we just read, Jeremiah 51, the sins of Babylon, have reached the heavens. Is even lifted up to the skies, man. All right. That great judgment has to come. All right. Real quick, I was thinking about this, Job 22:5. Right? Job 22:5, it says, "Is not thy wickedness great, and thine iniquities infinite?" Man, there's no limit, all right, to the depths of wickedness, all right, for these Edomites, man. Okay? I guess this hit the Florida news, right? Truly heinous, 7 Florida men arrested in global child pornography. See? Let me see if they let it pull up, if it's a video or not. Right? This shit is crazy. Okay. All right. So I guess it's just a screenshot. All right. So it's not letting the video play, but you see what's going on, man. And this has been, coming out over years, man. All right. The shit that's going on in Hollywood, the trafficking. All right. This is all organized crime with these Edomites, man. Everybody's involved. All right. Politicians, certain police stations or whatnot. You see what I'm saying? It's just crazy, man. I can't even come up with words, man. The only thing is that Babylon has to go. All right, so we're definitely in that time. It's not a lot of time left. You see, what more can we tell you? As we always say, all right, it's all going down at some point, man. So, it's a lot happening. All right, but we know that the Lord is about to bring swift and horrible judgment. All right. So I pray that this quick lesson was edifying, man. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakwadash, and Shalom to the next one. Shalom.